I actually enjoyed watching with her because she watched every single show. But the first show that I really paid attention to was Vanderpump Rules, and seeing all of them there was
He
that was
saw the
nice.
Toms and he was like, "Oh my god, I'm in love." And then he saw Ariana and then he was like, "Oh my god, I'm in more love." And I was
Yeah,
Is that like who you fanned out for the most? The
yeah,
Toms and
and Shah's the Sunset, like
they're the sweetest ever. It's just, it was so nice to meet these people that, like, in our eyes, like they're like, we're fangirling, but they're just so genuine and they're so sweet to us. Like, it made us fangirl even more over them.
who did you fangirl out the most, Risha? Just since you watched everything, pretty much, it sounds like.
Oh my god, I love Gigi. I think she's the sexiest thing in the entire world. Although he also loves her, so we may have to fight and duke over her.
Gigi's a good one. Who was like, did you guys bond with anyone? Like what? Like who was the nicest, or like who didn't you maybe expect to be nice that was really overly nice?
like the Summer House crew has always been like, that's the show that's always given us advice, and we've like, I feel like, grown with them on our show.
I was surprised by the by Heather Gay from Salt Lake. I didn't realize that she was so sweet and so supportive, and like she knew everything about the show, which was like, it made our hearts melt. We were like, oh my god, this is amazing.
I'm like, you're Heather Gay.
I know, right?
Heather Gay is a Family Karma fan. What about the opposite? Like Amrit has said that like Giselle Bryant was rude to him. He votes her the rudest housewife or the rudest person at BravoCon. What about you guys? Who
God, I was
did
just
you
being dramatic.
who did you not have a good experience with?
I wouldn't say there was not like a good experience. I mean, there was obviously some people that just didn't know who we were, but that's, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, you can't like not like someone for not knowing who you are.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think I would introduce myself like, "Hi, I'm Richa from Family Karma," and they'd be like, "Oh, okay." Like, you could see like whether they knew you or they didn't, but I don't think I had a bad experience with anybody. Just there were some that you could tell had no idea who the heck we were.
Yeah, but overall, I think everyone was there for the fans, and I think the energy, everyone, there was a great camaraderie amongst all the Bravo family.
Did you guys have any interaction with any of like the Beverly Hills housewives, like Lisa Rinna, Erica Jane?
Yeah, I did a panel with who did I do a panel with?
Dorit and Kyle.
Dorit and Kyle. They're really sweet.
I fangirled over Kathy Hilton when I saw her.
Garcelle's a sweetheart.
Oh, she's so nice.
Sutton's a sweetheart as well.
We were riding golf carts with Sutton.
Yeah,
trying not to run over people.
She was fantastic.
Have you guys ever had just like a strange fan interaction, not even at BravoCon, just from like being on the show and being out and about, like when you come to New York, that's where I live, to do press, or just in where you live in Florida, just, fans, like you say, lots of people slip into lots of DMs and people could be strange at times.
Yeah, there's been a few of those, especially when we're in New York at the first time was after season 1. And me and Richard, like the first time after COVID, we're walking on the street and you hear like people screaming on the street, running across the street and give you hugs. I'm like, hey, I'm Vishal. or sliding into your DMs at dinner. That's
like
interesting.
We see you at dinner and we're like, oh, okay. But nothing's been like super strange. It's all been really sweet and like really nice.
It's like when someone says like, oh, you look great in that shirt, and they describe the color, you're like, what is good? This is a little strange.
I had someone be like, oh, I went to Chick-fil-A somewhere, like some random city in Mississippi, like to pick up lunch. And I got a message later to me, was that you at Chick-fil-A? I wish I said hi. And I'm like, well, you should have. I mean, it looked like a homeless bum, but you should have said hi.
What about the Shahs? Because Gigi, Reza, and MJ have all said after BravoCon that, they view all of you from Family Karma as like their little brothers and sisters. And, they say, like they've walked so that you guys can run. I mean,
100%. Like the Shahs were like, they were the first like brown people on TV that we saw. And we were so happy when they were on screen. Like, there was like the closest thing that we could relate to, like representation, and that really matters. So seeing them thrive, and seeing how humble they are, they're just amazing people.
Where do you guys think, because you could also throw in, like we have Bling Empire on Netflix. I don't know if you ever watch it. It's a great show. Like, where do you think right? We love those shows too. Where do you think like we are in terms of like, inclusivity and representation on reality TV of like all different cultures?
I mean, I love it. I love that, between all these different platforms, we're seeing so much more Asian representation across the board. We're learning all the different cultures, and everyone's so welcoming and warm to how we are in our households. I think it's amazing. I think it's just the beginning for us.
Exactly. I think we're just getting started. We're just touching like the tip of the iceberg right now. I think there's a lot more that we can do.
Like if you look at like the past even 3 years, 5 years, like it's all come so far.
There was nothing before 3 years, and now all of a sudden we have so many different shows, which is, it's just amazing. And you see it even on Instagram. We see all like the younger, at least in the Indian, we see so many more Indians being proud, Indian, proud of who they are,
and showing who they are. And that was not the case when we were growing up. We were honestly, it was kind of embarrassing. We didn't really know how to express ourselves. And I think it was just,
it's because we didn't see it, so we didn't think we should show it, I guess. And now that there's so much culture being shown, like it's cool to be whatever your culture is at this point, which is amazing to us.
Yeah, I think it was just ignorance,
Have you heard from someone like younger who just, pulls at your heartstrings and has, like I'm sure you guys hear from a ton of people, when they talk about representation, but is there just one story where someone's like, I just like, thank you so much, or just something that stands out for the two of you?
I can't think of anything that stands out, but again, we've heard anytime we go to events and we see like the younger generation, they're just like, you guys made it to where we can kind of be who we are now, and it's not scary. We can be who we are in front of our parents, and like it's just so much easier because it's out there.
Yeah, and not just that, even like things about our personal lives, like talking about autoimmune diseases and being Indian. That's something in the Indian community people never really wanted to speak about. So I have other Desi people reaching out to me on my Instagram, not Desi, like everyone across the board is reaching out saying like, it's so nice to hear you speak about Crohn's disease and autoimmune diseases, speaking about these invisible diseases and bring more light into them. And that makes me happy.
What do you want people to take away from the two of you as they watch, the rest of this season, now that you guys are together? And, what do you want people to take away from the two of you?
Are we together?
You guys are together, yes. I can answer that question.
Our relationship is fun and full of ups and downs.
We try not letting our families get the best of us. They mean well.
They'll see our relationship go through a bit of a journey, and I'll say that.
Yeah, it was a very hard journey.
To people that get married, like marriage, because in the Indian people like, oh, get married, your relationship will get better, or have a baby, your relationship will get better. Like, certain things, like just because we got married doesn't mean that we didn't have issues before it and after it as well. Like there's still things that happen in relationships, and you see us have a beautiful wedding and then go through some hiccups, some big hiccups afterwards.
Yeah.
Well,
it's normal. It is what it is. After 10 years of being together, we change as a couple, we're changing as individuals.
And I think there's ways that not just me, I think both of us have to give a little bit and improve. We both have things to work on.
That's such a healthy view of
it all. We're somewhat healthy.
Yes. No, listen, you guys are best friends. You can tell. And it's like, as we wrap up, to that point, what do you have any plans for any children? I hate to rush things along here, but what have you guys talked about?
I would love children. I love children. I think I am a big child, so I think I'd be a great dad.
I have a great child right here.
No, I think I would love children, and she knows that.
And how many children would you want?
1 or 2.
I was gonna say 10, and I was gonna have to punch it.
No, I know my battles, and I'm gonna keep it realistic with her, because if I can get 1 out of her, that's a win.
His grandfather saw us the other day. It was really funny. So his brother and sister-in-law, he was like, "You guys have 7 kids. You, Richa, you at least just have 1, okay?